claims it helps families facing financial difficulties. There have been reports of aggressive debt collection tactics, including breaking into vulnerable people's homes and forcing them onto pay-as-you-go meters. As a result, some families say they have been left for periods without any heating or electricity. There's a company that the major energy firms, including British Gas and others, use to do this very aggressive debt collection. They're called Arvato. And when I found out about this, I applied to work there undercover. I've had a tiny bit of training over the last week, and I've had an interview. And today is my first day on the ground shadowing one of their debt collectors. On some of the coldest days in recent weeks, I was in teams of either 4 or 5 men, breaking into families' homes and force-fitting pay-as-you-go meters for British Gas. The debt collection teams are deployed after courts sign off warrants on behalf of the energy firms. The companies are meant to screen for vulnerabilities. However, we broke into this home, even though a neighbour had told us there was a single dad and 3 children living inside. We are not publishing footage from inside this home to protect the privacy of the family. The family was out, but on the living room floor there were toys for young children, Peppa Pig figurines, a small pink bicycle and a mini guitar. In the kitchen, there was a child's Ventolin asthma inhaler and eczema cream. The debt collector leading the team did not seem fazed by the signs that children were living in the home.
For the benefit of call recording, no inside property, dog has been contained by dog handler, no risks, no vulnerabilities on site, ending call recording now.
The British Gas engineer explained how he thought the family would probably get cut off from their heating. He said the account was in the generic name of occupier, so they might not automatically be sent a top-up card.
You won't get sent a card, so he's going to go off supply.
Oh!
Yeah, I don't think it will send them a card.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be £10 emergency, and then he'll go off supply.
The debt collectors sat on the family's sofa, and one messed around with the children's toys. After almost 2 hours, the job was done. The debt collector leading the team disappeared for a while, and the team waited for him outside.
What were you doing?
Toilet.
Oh, right.
The same agent offered me tips on judging a customer's vulnerability.
But if they're just saying, oh, I'm a single mum and I got 3 kids, and that's not a vulnerability. Right. It is a vulnerability, but I'm a bit old school and a bit hard-nosed.
I was in teams sent to enforce warrants for British Gas at homes where customers included a 77-year-old man, as well as a young mother aged 25 who had 4 children. The youngest was a newborn baby.
Like, how old are your children?
My youngest is like 3 weeks old.
Oh.
We are showing some footage inside this customer's home, as she has since given her permission. When we entered her home, she apologised for falling behind on her energy bills, which she said had jumped recently from £54 to £364 per month. During the visit, she became emotional and said she would have switched the heating off and just worn a quilt over her clothes if it weren't for her young children.
I hate this flat so much. Hopefully, we're hoping to be out of there in a couple of months.
Oh, yeah.
It's embarrassing. I do try and keep on top of, all of my stuff.
The debt agent I was shadowing that day decided to walk away without fitting the meter. He said other agents may well not have acted how he did. While I was working undercover, the government wrote to energy companies, asking them to stop forcing struggling families onto prepayment meters. However, 4 days later I was back on the road with a team breaking into homes for British Gas. One day, Centrica, which owns British Gas, announced that it was stopping a practice called mode changes. This involves remotely switching customers to pay-as-you-go settings on their smart meters. The following day I watched a debt agent working for British Gas still doing this, by calling a British Gas call centre. After the change, the customer would typically have £6.50 per week of their heating top-ups automatically taken by British Gas to repay debts.
So even though we knew they were in, if you can mode change it, don't even bother knocking. But yeah, ring up, do the mode change, then literally just write the letter out, put it through the letterbox, off you go.
Last year there was a large rise in the number of warrants issued by courts so energy firms could force-fit these meters. There are now calls to ban energy firms from pursuing this kind of aggressive debt collection for good.